I always say to people, how much water do you drink? And these are some of the answers. I don't like water. If I drink water, my feet swell. If I drink water, I'm going to the bathroom all day. Those last two answers tell me that the water's not getting inside the cell.
Hello and welcome back. I'm Barbara O'Neill, and today we're going to talk about a common issue many people, especially as they age, experience swollen feet and legs. Whether it's due to poor circulation, fluid retention, or standing for long periods, swollen legs and feet can be uncomfortable and painful. Did you know that nearly 20% of people over 50 deal with this issue regularly? But the good news is there are natural remedies and lifestyle changes that can help reduce the swelling and bring you relief. In this lecture, I'll share simple yet effective remedies that can make a big difference in your day-to-day comfort. So let's dive right in.
Believe it or not, the swelling in the legs means that your kidneys are what balance the sodium and the water levels in your body. So it's an indication that the kidneys aren't very happy. So what you can do is you can increase your water intake and salt intake. One lady said, more water, but look, I've got too much now. Now, when the legs swell, do you know what that means? The water's not getting inside the cell, it's on the outside of the cell. And our cell has a bilayered membrane around it. And water cannot get in unless magnesium is there. Magnesium will pull the water inside the cell. And that's why a crystal of whole salt on your tongue before every glass of water, it gets the water into the cells, the quickest way to hydrate a body. Now, we do lose 2 litres, sometimes 2.5 litres a day. 2 litres must be replaced. And the best way for someone to take that, especially someone with swollen legs, is to sip it. That means that if they're swollen legs, their kidneys are struggling a little bit. So the water must be just sipped. A mouthful here, 5 minutes later, another couple of mouthfuls. And at the beginning of every glass, have that crystal of Celtic salt, and that will get the water inside the cell. Now, we had a lady come and do our program about a month ago, and she had big swelling in her legs, and they picked up her kidneys weren't functioning properly. She had high blood pressure. She's, I think she's about 58, and they wanted to put her on dialysis. Her sister pushed for her to come to our health retreat. She rang me the night before she was booked in. She said, I'm concerned about coming to your health retreat. She said, I'm concerned at the detox. I'm going to release too many toxins. It's going to put a load on my liver and I'm going to get worse. Granted. And I said, I understand your concerns, but I want you to know that we watch you carefully and we'll adapt and adjust at every single step. She said, okay. Now, I remember lying in bed early that morning thinking, kidneys. Now, we do use herbs, but we only really have the herbs that we go through a lot, and we don't have a lot of people with kidney problems. Now, my celery was going to seed, and celery is an excellent kidney herb. Here are the kidney herbs. So, celery, and my parsley is also going to seed, and parsley is another excellent kidney herb. And I have lots of couch grass, and couch grass is another excellent herb. So I picked all of those, and we got her to drink a litre of that tea every day, and the legs went down.
These herbs help with swollen legs by improving kidney function and helping the body manage fluids better. Celery is great for this because it acts as a natural diuretic, meaning it helps your kidneys get rid of extra water and sodium. When you reduce that excess fluid, it can lower the swelling in your legs caused by water retention. Parsley works in a similar way. It also helps the body release extra water through the kidneys and supports overall kidney health with its antioxidants and vitamins. This makes it easier for your body to keep the right balance of water. Couch grass is another useful herb. It helps soothe the urinary tract and boosts urine production, which helps the kidneys filter out more water and toxins. This process can also bring down the swelling in your legs.
Ginger is great for joints, especially inflamed joints. So what you do is you just grate that ginger very fine, and you take a cloth, maybe you have a cloth this big, and you put the grated ginger into the middle area, and then you fold it over. I call it east, west, north, south, and you make a little package. And when you've made your package, here's your package, and then you just have a little bit more plastic around it that covers it, or I should say it goes under it, and so it's applied to the wrist with the plastic over, and then it can be bandaged on. And we have found many people have testified that it draws the inflammation out of the skin to the point where it almost feels like the skin's burning, but it doesn't burn. So a ginger poultice, and that's excellent for painful joints. And remember, it is quite a powerful anti-inflammatory, has a powerful anti-inflammatory effect. We had a lady attend one of our programs, and she had a very swollen finger joint. She said, "This finger has been hurting me for about a year." And she could not bend her finger. It was so painful. And she said, "I'm right-handed. It interferes with my ability to write, to prepare food, to sew." She said it's really difficult. But she said, "I'm in my late 60s now. I guess, I'm getting arthritis." How many people think that they're getting into their late 50s, 60s, so these sorts of things are going to happen? But I can tell you now, we've seen people totally free from them. So we put a grated ginger poultice on her, and of course that was a little tiny one that we put on her finger. The next morning she came in and she said, "I have no pain in that finger." She said, "I even slept all night. When I was going to sleep, it was feeling very hot." She said, "And I wondered if I'd be able to sleep because it felt so hot." But she said, I went to sleep, and she said in the morning it didn't feel hot anymore. And when I took the poultice off, she said I could bend my finger. The swelling wasn't totally down, but it certainly was almost halfway down. Just a very simple little ginger poultice. Now I do warn people, don't put it on just before you go to bed, because you might wake in half an hour with your skin very, very hot where the poultice is, and that could interfere with your ability to sleep. So I suggest people put the ginger poultice on, and put it on, just choose one painful joint where you put it on, and just see how it feels. Maybe you'll put it on at 6 o'clock and you're going to bed at 9 o'clock. See how it feels by 9 o'clock. If it's just too hot, take it off. Even that amount of time, it will have an effect. And remember that hot skin is an indication of the inflammation that it's drawn out of the joints into the skin. One lady did it too much. She did it overnight. She did it the next day to the middle of the day, changed it again, did it to the evening, then did another one overnight, and she did it to her knee, and she said she was so excited because it reduced the pain in her knee right down. So she just wanted to keep doing it. And then she sent me a picture of her knee. The tissue was red, swollen, and she had blisters on the skin. She said, "What have I done?" I said, "You've just overdone it."
Ginger can also be highly effective for swollen legs, particularly when the swelling is caused by inflammation, poor circulation, or fluid retention. Its anti-inflammatory properties make it useful for reducing swelling, while its ability to improve circulation helps alleviate the discomfort associated with swollen legs. To use ginger for swollen legs, you can make a ginger compress or poultice similar to what is used for joints. Start by grating fresh ginger finely, then place it in the center of a cloth or thin towel. Fold the cloth into a small package to keep the ginger in place. Apply the ginger compress to the swollen area, wrapping it with plastic wrap to hold it securely. This allows the ginger to draw out excess fluid and reduce inflammation. You can leave the compress on for 30 minutes to an hour, but keep an eye on it to ensure your skin doesn't become too hot or irritated. Another option is to soak your legs in a ginger bath. To do this, boil fresh ginger slices in water for about 10-15 minutes, then add the ginger water to a warm foot or leg bath. Soaking in this bath can improve circulation, relieve discomfort, and reduce swelling. It's a simple way to incorporate ginger's benefits into your routine.
Well, if the person gets well and goes straight over to the high carbohydrate diet, the arthritis will probably come back. So it's a management program. And if you can manage it, you're doing very well. And they'll be totally cured when they see that little cloud in the eastern side and Jesus comes again and gives us a new body. But until then, it's a management program. And if you can manage it, you're doing very well. And for the arthritic person, they can start to pull in some of the remedies we've talked about. Hot and colds, if the feet are swollen or sore, or the hands. Ginger poultices are very good at pulling the inflammation out of the joints.
Swollen legs can result from various causes, including fluid retention, injury, or underlying health conditions. Herbal remedies can be effective in managing this issue, providing natural support for circulation and reducing inflammation. One common herb for swollen legs is dandelion. Known for its diuretic properties, dandelion can help the body eliminate excess fluid. Drinking dandelion tea may promote urine production and reduce swelling. Another option is horse chestnut, which has been used for centuries to improve circulation. Its active compound, eskin, helps strengthen blood vessels and reduce inflammation, making it beneficial for those experiencing leg swelling.
If someone has a very inflamed joint, now when we did our water therapy in a previous session, we looked at 3 minutes hot, 30 seconds ice cold, but if the joints are very inflamed, they might do 1 minute hot, 1 minute cold. What you're looking for is response. And if the person says, it's in the hot, it's too long, you say, oh, come into the cold. Let's try a minute in the cold. Let's try a minute in the hot. And the body's response will say yes or no. And then after the hot and colds, the grated ginger poultice. Now, if the poultice gets too hot on the skin, an indication that it's pulling out a lot of inflammation, it can be removed. It doesn't have to be on for all night, for instance. But a poultice that's very soothing for overnight is castor oil. And we looked at the castor oil compresses. And the castor oil can be very good whenever, and often with arthritis. I know with my mother, her hands were all deformed, her joints were huge, her feet and knees were just huge. So sometimes in severe arthritis you get those large knobbly joints. That's where the castor oil can help to break them down.
And we could just clarify for someone who may have missed, how do they mix the cayenne pepper? How should we take care of that as they drink?
The cayenne. Well, the cayenne is usually taken for the boosting your hydrochloric acid. You can start with 1/4 teaspoon just in 1/3 cup of water and throw it down. Now, if you thought that was easy, go for 1/3 teaspoon. If you thought that was easy, go to half.
So keep increasing your level of tolerance.
Yeah, and you're the doctor there. You do what? There's no absolute rule in this because we are all so different. We're all a combination of birth, genetics, experiences, and that's why I believe everyone should be their own doctor.
Sure. Is this all that they need to know? Anything else?
There is another herb that you can take on the inside to get inflammation down, and that's turmeric. Turmeric's a very powerful herb internally to get the inflammation down.
How often or how much?
So a teaspoon 3 times a day.
Sure.
If it's the fresh turmeric, you would triple that dose. If it's dried, then you bring it back.
Okay. And I'm thinking of someone who is not following the other laws of health. Maybe they're just eating these foods, they're doing these things, and they're not seeing anything. What about their weight? Does it have an impact? Do they need to shed some weight?
It all does. And there is only one wonder cure. Everyone's looking for a wonder cure, but they will never find it.
The quick fix, you know?
And YouTube is full of, try this, it'll heal you. But there are no wonder cures. There's no wonder drug and there is no wonder herb. But there is a wonder human body. And when this body's given the right conditions, it will heal.
In addition to this, nettle leaf is recognized for its ability to support kidney function and reduce fluid retention. Nettle tea is a popular choice for those looking to manage swelling naturally. Furthermore, rosemary is another herb that can improve circulation. Using rosemary oil in massages can provide relief and enhance blood flow to the affected areas. To manage inflammation, support joint health, and prevent leg swelling, it's helpful to focus on a balanced diet. Incorporating anti-inflammatory foods can make a significant difference. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines are great choices because they're rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which can help reduce inflammation. Don't forget about fruits and vegetables. Berries, cherries, and leafy greens like spinach and kale are loaded with antioxidants that combat oxidative stress. These foods not only nourish your body, but also support overall joint health. Nuts and seeds, particularly walnuts and flax seeds, offer healthy fats and fiber, further aiding in inflammation reduction. Staying hydrated is another important aspect. Water helps keep your joints lubricated and supports all bodily functions. Aim to drink enough throughout the day and consider adding herbal teas like ginger or turmeric, which also have anti-inflammatory properties. Regular physical activity is essential too. Gentle exercises such as walking, swimming, or cycling can help maintain mobility without putting too much strain on your joints. Stretching and yoga can enhance flexibility and reduce tension, making a real difference in how your body feels. Managing stress is key, as high stress can worsen inflammation. Find activities that help you relax, whether it's meditation, reading, or spending time in nature. Combining these dietary choices with lifestyle changes creates a comprehensive approach to managing joint inflammation. While results can vary for everyone, committing to these strategies may lead to improved joint health and a better quality of life. Always check in with a healthcare professional before making significant changes to ensure they fit your individual needs. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you found these tips on managing swollen feet and legs helpful. Remember, small changes in your daily routine can lead to significant improvements in your comfort and health. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more health insights. Take care, and I'll see you next time.